Everyone's SYLAS, and this is the patch 13.16 preview, and we're going to see what this has in store for us. So this has no bearing on anything. This does not affect Asia Games. It does not affect, I don't believe, Gauntlet. I don't believe that it affects Worlds or anything like that. I think Worlds is 13.18 or 13.19. Briar is still not here, which is kind of weird because a writer did say that Briar would not be enabled for Worlds. Now, that makes it sound like Briar is coming out in summer. Now, technically, summer does not end until September 21st because summer solstice. So technically, summer is September too, but when everybody thinks of summer, they think of August, like the last month. So still no Briar. Maybe 13.17 or something is going to be Briar. I don't know. I hope. But anyways, all right, Milio. Q-base damage, 90 to 270 plus 90% AP to 80 to 320. So they lower it at rank 1, but when you put points into it, it gets a lot of damage, plus 120% AP. E-base shield, 60 plus 140, 60 to 140 plus 25% AP to 60 to 160 plus 30% AP. Okay, so they increased all of his bases. So his E-shield base is up. The AP on it is up. Now, Milio does not get a lot of AP. Typically, Milio will get either Arden or he'll get Staff of Flowing Water for like his AP items. And even that is kind of rare. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Typically, he'll go like Shurilias into Redemption in a lot of cases just because of the value on it. But sometimes there is Ardent Rushes. But Ardent Rushes have a little bit less value because of Milio's loss of damage on his passive. Now, Milio lost so much damage on his passive that was really baked into who he was empowering that even though it seems like Milio is getting a lot of value here because he's getting a lot of damage back on his Q and stuff, you got to remember that the way that Milio plays, he puts 1 point in Q, E goes to 3 points, and then he maxes W, and then he finishes maxing E. So because of that, his Q is actually down in damage base-wise, but because the AP is up 30%, even the rank 1 is still going to be doing more damage. The thing that I ponder about this is the Q base damage now high enough with AP that Milio could be played mid lane? Could Milio go mid and have like some sort of a weird bruiserish build where Milio's really tanky and supportive? That is the question that I'm asking. Does Milio's Q now one-shot a minion wave? These are the real questions now. Because 120% AP is a lot of AP. So with AP items all having like 100 ability power and stuff, I really do wonder if there's some like Rod of Ages or Everfrost build or something going on there with Milio where he could get value in that regard, and he could trade hard, because Milio does trade really hard with his E's. It's very, very difficult to out-trade his E's. He has really good gank setup with his Q and with his E and stuff. So I do wonder, is there something possible for mid-Milio? If there's nothing possible for mid-Milio, all of these buffs are fake. They're just sad that he fell out of the meta. Do not get baited by these changes. Milio is still dealing less damage than he used to deal before. So if your argument is that now he's dealing more damage, he's not. Because before he was doing more damage even when he stopped getting picked. So Milio is still in that boat. Vigilance flat, physical damage 10 to 15. Lucian is getting buffed, which is very interesting, okay? So interesting because he's already being flexed in his current state, mid and AD carry and even top lane. Very rare, but by very select players. Lulu, health per level is going to go up by 4, so that's kind of, I mean, it's negligible. She gets like half an auto attack in laning phase. Q damage is going to go from 70 to 210 plus 40% to 70 to 210 plus 50%, 10% AP. Lulu does not build a lot of AP. E damage is going to go from 80 to 240 plus 40% AP to 80 to 240 plus 50%. Again, she does not get a lot of AP, so these are very negligible changes. This is very nice for mid and top Lulu. Again, completely irrelevant for support Lulu. Karma, Q base damage 70 to 270 plus 40% to 70 to 270 plus 50%. Mantra Q detonation damage 35 to 350 plus 60%, 35 to 350 plus 70%, okay? So the detonation damage is going up by 10%. Again, Karma does not build a lot of AP. Now, if you do build AP Karma, if you do something like Rod of Ages and something else, you're going to have like 300-ish AP. So you're getting an extra 30 damage on the Q detonation damage. And you're getting an extra 30 damage on her Q. And laning phase is going to be a very negligible amount, okay? Even if you're having D-Ring or something like that, you're getting an extra 1.5 damage on your Q. Goes through resistances, you're getting 1 more damage on your Q. Like, please stop. R cooldown 40 to 34 to 40 to 31. That's the really big change. But obviously it doesn't come in until the later stages of the game. So Karma, I mean, nice little changes. Maybe they're doing this to try to keep Rumble in line because Karma is one of the answers to him in top lane. Caitlyn, attacks per headshot, 6-5. So this is obviously really interesting. Degon, yesterday on the Face Check episode, if you guys did not see it yet, did theorize that this now means that she can just auto 3 times from a brush, and the third auto attack will consume the marks to do the crit. I believe that you have to arm the headshot and then fire it. So in that regard, it would still be 4 from the brush, which would mean that it's not changed. But now it is changed when you're doing brush plus non-brush shenanigans and when you're just doing basic sieging. So for Caitlyn to get a buff like this and Caitlyn to get other indirect buffs that have been happening, it is really surprising because it does seem like they are trying to push Caitlyn to come back. And with Enchanter Ivern being as strong as he is right now, it's also a really nice buff for Caitlyn. Wukong, mono regen 0.65 to 0.8, Q mana cost 40 to 20, W mana cost 80 to 40 to 60 to 40. So Wukong doesn't really have mana problems whatsoever. Wukong top is just, you're not going to see him really appear in top lane, even with these mana changes and stuff. You're just not seeing it. Brand, passive mana restoration, 20 to 40 to 30 to 50, QAP ratio 55% to 65%, EAP ratio 45% to 50%. So the EAP ratio goes up by 5 and the Q goes up by 10, so you get 15% extra AP. Now Brand does actually, he does go Lost Chapter, Rylai, Liandry, or he just goes Liandry plus Rylai. And then after that, typically he'll get Magic Penetration, because these are nice changes to his AP ratios, but it's not nice enough to where you're going to go death cap. So even at that point, you're going to have somewhere around 300 ability power, right? So, 5% of 300 ability power, sure, he's getting a little bit more damage. The thing I'd really like to see him get is more passive damage baked in. Or I'd like to see him be given monster damage. Now, the thing that people don't realize about a passive mana restore is it's really hard to shove Brand out of lane. And if Brand does this entirely correctly, he actually, with Lost Chapter, you can't move him out of lane. It's going to be basically impossible to move Brand out of lane phase. Like this is absolutely ridiculous mana restore on killing a target that is going to be ablaze. Akali, Q energy cost 130 to 70 to 110 to 70. Okay, they're just giga buffing her. Damage 40 to 140 plus 65, 60. Okay, 45 to 145. So 5 base and nothing else gets changed. Okay, so they're giving her. So Akali has actually been buffed several times in a row, and we do all have to keep mental notes on this. I do not think that these changes push her over the top. The problem is that people are going to think that it pushes her over the top, and they're going to force her anyway because Akali was one of the most played champions in the game for 4 years in a row. So it is one of those champions that every mid laner and top laner in the world just feels really, 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 really comfortable on. So when they get bored enough, they're now going to eventually go through, their top 11 on OPGG and be like, oh yeah, Akali got buffed, I'm going to play her again. And she's going to come back because this actually does a really big thing for her early laning phases. Echo, Q outgoing damage 60 to 120 plus 30% to 7. Why is Echo getting buffed? What? Q slow 32 to 60 to 40. Why is he getting buffed? What? What? That's a weird way to buff Echo. So they're making his lane clear actually stronger. So they're making his wave clear stronger, which makes no sense. They just gave it 10 base. And they made his Q slow even harder, so it's that much more difficult. You literally lose magical boots almost trying to run from Echo. That makes no sense at rank 1. Now, just at rank 1, it's just more intense. Now, obviously, once he has 2 points in it, it almost doesn't matter. But at rank 1, because Echo wants to do like QEQ or he wants to do QEW, right, in his early laning phase, they made Echo's most vulnerable laning phase part so much stronger. I don't get it. Also, even for jungle ganks and stuff, this is really, really, really big for jungle Echo. This is massive for jungle Echo. SYLAS, base mana is up by 90. Okay, sure. Okay. Wow, all right. He just gets 2 spellcasts for free. Champion nerfs, Rek'Sai, unborrowed Q damage, 21 to 45 plus 50% bonus AD to 35 to 50% total AD. This is a nerf until level 13, and then she's buffed. Okay, that's fine. Shaco's up, base mana regen, 7.5 to 6, W mana cost 50 to 70 to 70 at all ranks. That is a really big nerf. Also a really big nerf to Pinkward, the streamer. Neferi, armor 32 to 30, attack damage 57 to 55, base attack speed 6.88 to 6.663. I still stand by the thing that Naafiri is an awful champion. I do not know where she's standing in terms of win rate right now. Let me actually take a look where Naafiri is standing. Every time I see this champion, I am just convinced that she's awful. So I do not know. Okay, so an Emerald 52%, Diamond 52%, Diamond 2 49%, Masters 51%. Challenger 30%, Grandmaster 49.18%. Okay. It's weird. Like, okay, so Naafiri's she's just gonna be a solo queue champion. She's a monster champion. It's just the way that she is. She's not gonna be in competitive. I would be extremely surprised to see Naafiri enter competitive. I really, really, really would, because she can't be picked blind. Her flex potential is not there. And she's a weird scaling assassin in the sense that she wants to hit level 11. She's like one of the few assassins that, one, needs certain item breakpoints before she becomes really obnoxious. Two, struggles to actually get snowballing compared to some of the other assassins. Three, needs to get level 11. It has like some kind of Kassadin thing going on with it. But I will say that when she does get like level 16... and she has a bunch of stuff going on, that, you know, things do start to get a little bit weird. It's weird. Shyvana, W damage per hit, 20 to 70, W damage per, okay, whatever. Tristana, I mean, she's a hot mess, just rework her. I mean, we're waiting. Tristana, health is down by 30, magic resistance down by 2, armor is going to go from 26 plus 4.2 to 30 plus 4.5. So she becomes tankier versus AD champion. So she's buffed versus Jace, buffed versus auto attack trades in mid lane. She's actually just buffed. This isn't a nerf. There's no way this is a nerf. There's no way it's a nerf. And now cut down becomes stronger on her. So cut down becomes stronger. And she's buffed versus AD champions. So now she's stronger versus Jace. And when Azir trades autos against her in mid, she's stronger against the auto trades. I don't get it. Axiomark, cooldown refund, 5 plus 40% lethality to 10% plus 40% lethality. That's actually really big. So the thing with Axiomark is, even when you're building it on Naafiri and you're building it on Zed, you basically needed to, you needed to have 2 items, and you needed to get 2 takedowns. And then you could get your ultimate back up. And it's such luxury that it's just not worth it. But now, if you just need 1 item, it might actually be worth going Axiomark. Serpent's Fang lethality up by 3. Prowler's Claw cooldown is going to go from 10 seconds to 5 seconds. So if you have Ingenious Hunter, this is going to be disgusting. This is going to be really, 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 really gross if you have Ingenious Hunter. You're going to be able to proc Prowler's Claw multiple times. The damage is going from 85-65 plus 30% bonus AD to 85-65 plus 50. So it's getting a 10% bonus AD buff. And if you have Ingenious Hunter, so if you can somehow go Hail of Blades, or you can go Dark Harvest, or you can go Electrocute, and you can gain access to Ingenious Hunter, and you can go Prowler's Claw. So Shaco can do this, right? Shaco can, what is Deceive's Shaco? Shaco fan. So Shaco Deceive is going to be a 10-second cooldown. So he's going to have ability haste. So Deceive is probably going to be... Deceive's probably going to be like a 6-second cooldown, a 5-second cooldown. So you're going to Q as Shaco. You're going to be stealthed. The Q is going to start going on cooldown. Yeah, you're going to be able to multi-Prowler's Claw as Shaco. Now, the other thing about this is also for Rengar. Rengar with Prowler's Claw is going to be really gross. Talon, I assume another one. Kiana, I mean, people that can take Ingenious Hunter, this is going to be absolutely disgusting because a lot of these champions, they currently take Treasure Hunter or they take Relentless. And in this instance, now they're just getting a steroid if they can actually go Ingenious Hunter because they can proc this multiple times, which now means that they're just getting an absolute juicer damage steroid. Because they're just getting hundreds of extra damage for free by being able to activate this multiple times. Graves even, right, with Prowler's Claw. You know, another champion that can actually take, you know, Ingenious. So what else would Graves go, though, if he's going to go Prowlers? I'm not even actually sure. Umbral Glaive, lethality 10 to 13. Okay. Dustblade of Drakthar, missing health 20 to 18%. Cooldown 10 to 30 seconds. So the 10 to 30 seconds is pretty luxurious. It's very rare that you get 2 Dustblade of Drakthar procs inside of a team fight. Typically you get 1, you reposition, and then that's it. If you get another takedown in a fight where you would have needed double Dustblade of Drakthar to win, you were probably mispositioned or like it was a really bad fight. Generally, 1 Dustblade of Drakthar proc is all that you need, especially in competitive. So only losing 2% of missing health damage just doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, the item's just not being nerfed. This is a very, very pathetic change. All in all, a nice patch. The thing that I'm most curious about is Caitlyn's being pushed into the meta. The Akali and brand changes are really big. Echo's really big for jungle Echo. And Milio, I'm curious if he can go mid. And then for Shaco and some of the other champions, I wonder about Prowler's Claw with Ingenious Hunter. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Patreon.com, L659. Amazing. True, sellout central.